I have with me senior BJP leader and former Tripura Minister Sudip Roy Barman. Welcome, Mr. Roy Barman, to Northeast Live. Well, our sources are telling us that you recently met BJP National President JP Nadda. So what was the meet all about? What all did you discuss? Was there any special concern raised by you, Mr. Roy Barman?
Yeah, it's a fact that I met our national Honorable President Mr. JP Nadda in his residence, and also it was I was honored by the presence of Mr. Amit, Shah, the Union Home Minister, and our organizational secretary Mr. B.L. Santoshji, and also was Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. They were all present in that meeting. I had briefed them regarding the current political scenario that exists in Tripura, and they were completely apprised of each and every development. So that was the purpose of my visit a few days ago.
Could you give us a little bit of details about any specific issues that you might have raised with them?
It was the functioning of the government. It was the organizational those issues which I shouldn't disclose it to the national media. But of course, regarding recent incident that took place in one newspaper and a TV channel, and also a few party offices of the Communist Party, I had addressed them in details regarding those issues also.
That brings me to my third question. What is your personal take on the series of violence that even rocked the Tripura capital, Agartala? We have been witnessing all this. What is your personal take? Do you think things could have been handled better?
Yeah, of course. You know, in every political party, there are a few goons who doesn't think of the party's interest or of the government interest. All of a sudden, they broke loose this thing and damaged the PB24 channel and also Pratibadwadi Kalam newspaper. And the party is not to be blamed for that. Obviously, there are hooligans which should be dealt with firmly. And I requested the government, whosoever, because these images have come in the social media also, there was a specific first information report lying with the police station, and whosoever is involved with this crime, they should be booked, and the law of the land should be taken into consideration so that this criminal doesn't render damage not only to the public and the private properties, but also render harm and bring bad name for the party and the government.
Now, coming to the big question, Mr. Roy Barman, you have in the past, in fact, as recently as just ahead of the last cabinet reshuffle, had clearly stated that you will not take up any role under the leadership of Chief Minister Biplab Deb. Considering the fact that elections are fast approaching, what is, if I can be blunt about it, what is Sudip Roy Barman's future in Tripura BJP? How do you look at it?
Yeah, I am very much in BJP, and I'll remain in the BJP till my last breath. And I want that the party and the government should be strengthened. It is not only just to enjoy life that I become a minister. I am to render service to the people. I am to live up to the expectation of the common people of my state. And the place that I really right now enjoy is that I live in the heart of the common people, though I do not have a materialistic throne with me, but obviously I prefer to live in the heart of the common people. And I made it very clear that I won't be serving under the present leadership. Nothing personal against him, but yeah, of course, I am still unknown. It is still unknown to me why was I dropped as a minister on 31st of May 2019. It has not yet been made clear, and why should I join? Because of Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma called me to Guwahati and asked me to take the responsibility as a minister under Mr. Biplab Deb, which I humbly denied. So that's it for the now.
But again, don't you think, Mr. Roy Barman, if you don't take any role in the cabinet, if you don't take up any portfolio, don't you think that in a way it restricts your role or capacity to serve the people even?
You see, I have been watching the other ministers also, right? Only one man's voice is being heard. No minister's order is being carried out by the officers. So it's just no point in just making me a minister, and where the officers will not hear the orders, carry out the orders of a minister, and they will be insulted. Because very recently, while I was traveling to Guwahati, when the day when Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma called me to convince me and to pass on the message of the highest authority to become a minister, in that flight, one minister, Mr. Mewar Kumar Jamatia, was also traveling. What he told me that one day, very recently, he requested Chief Secretary of the State to come down to his office for a discussion. And the Chief Secretary said, I have no time. If you want, you can come down to my office. So if that is the way the ministers are being treated and handled, it's no point going over there. So it's better to serve the people, remaining in the party, and social services and other services which I can render. Of course, I am doing that.
My last question to you, Mr. Roy Barman. In Tripura, things are getting exciting politically ahead of the elections. The Trinamool Congress is trying to make inroads. The CPM is trying to strengthen itself. Then we have the Tripura Motha gaining strength in the council areas. How do you rate the BJP's chances in this situation as far as the 2023 assembly polls are concerned?
Yeah, of course. During the elections, all of us will be putting on a united face and united fight, and we'll ensure, under the leadership of Honorable Modi ji, again we'll be riding on his charismatic leadership. And the people of Tripura, I believe, in the coming election also, they will vote heavily for the BJP. And I don't believe that the other parties can make inroads, because these organizationally also they are weak. And people have seen the Communist Party for the last 25 years. It could be they're a bit upset with functioning style of one or two people in the government. But over and all, they are not unhappy with the party. So obviously, once Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah ji and Mr. JP Nadda and other national leaders come down and set our house in order, we believe that we can put up a decent fight and steal the show and form the government.